Let's see here. Hi, everyone. Dan Harley here. This is another episode of Tech Talk with Dan Harley. This is a vlog focusing on COVID-19 lockdown situations, episode number 156, recording April 20th, 2020. I have a special interview with a good friend of mine, Keithanthony Taylor, the Hypno Sensei. Good friend of mine. We've been on the air many times at various different shows, his show, my show, both of our shows, stuff like that. Good guy. He lives in England, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff involving him and his hypnosis and stuff like that. So let's just bring him on the air here. Hello, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous. Great. And good to see you again, Dan.
Good to see you too. Okay. Anyway, Keith, you and I go back a ways. I think in what's a Blog Talk Radio time, it's several years back, right?
It's a long time, and
yeah, we're now old friends.
Now that must be about 1994 or 95 or so.
I don't think it's that far back, but it does seem like that. So it's been years, actually. I think 2004, 2005. So it could be 10 years or more.
Yeah, it's been quite a long time.
Yeah.
And it's good to be back with you, Dan. So
good back here with you too. So those of you who don't know Keith, he is in England. He is a hypnotist. I'm sorry. I think you and I started off sharing a show, or we were guests at a show a long time ago. Dr. Ev's show, Caribbean radio show, something like that. Even before that. And then we bounced for one thing and another thing, and we've been back and forth in each other's show for quite a few years. One of the things like Dale, like Dale Perryman, the three of us kind of never actually met each other, but we've become good friends on the air. So anyway, I want to talk to you about your hypnosis. What's going on with England and you personally, your business over there. Over the COVID-19 lockdown. Also talk about how you're able to do hypnosis online. I think was rather unique, and some other stuff. So anyway, let's start off. What's going on in England? What's going on with you and your lockdown situation out there?
Well, we're locked down. It's the thing about that I've noticed most about the lockdown here is things seem a lot quieter. I live on a traffic island here where we've got like it's a rectangle. We've got a large cathedral-like church on one side, and we've got 3 blocks of apartments on the other 3 sides. So it's like a big roundabout, and all the time going around it, there's traffic. And one of the things that we see all the time is emergency vehicles going around it. So we have sirens all the time normally, because we're very close to a police station, a fire station, and a hospital. So they're using this like a racetrack all the time. So all the time we have sirens going around 24/7. And that stopped. So it's been really quiet since the lockdown. So that is one nice aspect.
We've been getting that around here. Mm-hmm. We've been getting that around here a lot too, where because there's nothing around, all you hear are the emergency vehicles. Well,
in contrast, we're not getting that now because there's no traffic going around this island. It's just quiet all the time. So
really?
I'm really noticing how peaceful it is, and that's great. The other thing I'm noticing is that because people are being frightened of getting too close to each other, they're not bumping into you, and they haven't got their faces in their mobile devices all the time. They're actually looking where they're going because they don't want to bump into you. So I don't use a mobile device. I always pay attention to where I'm going. So it's great that people aren't bumping into me all the time like they used to. So people are behaving in more of a normal. Well, it's abnormal, but really. To me, it seems like people are behaving in a more normal way because they're looking where they're going for once instead of looking in their mobile devices when they're walking along the street. And I notice this in a big way. I think that's incredible. And people people are keeping 2 meters apart, queuing to go in the stores. But the other, it's strange that they're turning around and talking to each other. We didn't do that in queues before, and I think that's really
so it sounds like the lockdown actually doing a good thing for England and London and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
So
and we're not
really
fighting with each other in the queues like we used to, because we can't reach each other because we're 2 meters apart.
Didn't think about that.
Yeah. So that's good. So the fighting has stopped because we can't reach each other more than 2 meters apart. That's a comedian, isn't he?
So anything negative happening over there? I mean, it sounds like it's, or your prime minister was, was going to go through the herd, what you call it, the herd immunity thing. He changed his mind last minute and decided to lock everybody down. Was there any pushback or abrasions on that, or everybody just kind of follow through with it? Well, obviously, it's after the fact, but how was that moment when your prime minister kind of changed, set the horse in a different direction?
Well, I must confess, Dan, you got me there, because I don't have TV and I don't read the newspaper because it's all bad news. So I'm not sure what was happening there. I do know that he was allegedly in hospital with COVID-19. I don't know if there was any of that on TV, but I didn't see any evidence. I think he was on holiday somewhere. I don't believe that he's actually been in hospital at all. But if anyone's actually seen evidence of him actually being in the hospital, then I'll stand corrected.
Okay. So
our prime minister actually being in the hospital?
No, actually, well, we heard the news over here. He was in ICU for a little bit, and then recovered basically pretty relatively fast. So, so based on you're kind of you're probably fortunate you don't watch mainstream media and all this stuff or BBC, so you're not really afflicted by let's say I'm going to use the propaganda. So you just see what's actually going on in your neighborhood, and so it sounds like you didn't see this big issue about the pushback of doing herd immunity or just locking down like everybody else is doing.
Then you told me there that you heard that he was in the hospital. What did you see? Has anybody seen?
Well, I watch everything on BBC, so so you're right. I don't know. So maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. So
I've not seen the prime minister intubated with a tube in his throat. So I don't believe that he's been in hospital too. But as I said,
you got a good point. You got a good point.
I think that he's been in I think he's been in hiding, so just to prove that anybody can get it. But I don't believe he's had it. Okay.
Hey, let's focus on you. How is your business now? How's the? I probably should ask this question a little bit further down here, but let's ask him now. How has this lockdown affected your business? I know you just opened a shop on Harley Street, something like that. Pretty.
Back in August, I moved into Harley Street with my business. Got an office in Harley Street, and I'd been trying.
I like that name, by the way.
Harley Street. Well, it's if you're going to get an office for hypnosis, then that's the best place to have it. It's like having an office in Manhattan, which is a pretty good place. But Harley Street is the best place to have any consulting business, and it took me a long time to get that office, and I moved in August. And now I've got an office in Harley Street that I'm paying for, but I'm not allowed to go there, and nor are my clients. And you can't get any transport there. We're in lockdown, so we're just not allowed to go there. So I'm still paying for it, but I'm not allowed to go there. So I've moved my business fully online now using Zoom. I'm not advertising for them unless they want to pay me. But
so we're going to talk about Zoom extensively, and again, we're not advertising either. I just got to, a lot of people using Zoom for obvious reasons. So. So let me ask you, are you getting any type of help from the government for your business? Are they offering anything, or you're on your own?
I'm not getting, the government are doing a lot of talk about giving people help with their businesses, but
Mm-hmm.
the help that they're giving is in the way of loans rather than real help, and
Mm-hmm.
so you have to pay it back. But the help they're going to be giving is not now; it's in the future,
Mm-hmm.
and I've not seen any actual help for anybody yet. But when you if and when you get it, you have to pay it back, and the money that they're paying out, they're even though we have to pay it back, they're also going to reclaim it back from the taxpayer. So it's there there's no free ride for anybody here. They've bankrupted all the businesses, and the economy's gone down. They're going to be wanting, even although the government and the 1% at the top, people like Bill Gates, are making a fortune out of this, they're still going to be wanting to claim all that money back that they say they've lost. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to want to get it back from the small people at the bottom, people like us. They're
Mm-hmm.
going to be increasing taxes, aren't they?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to be,
Well, we
they're,
kind of get more or less kind of the similar runaround over here. As a small business, as a private contractor, actually, independent contractor. We've had an issue in California where it's a thing called AB 5, Assembly Bill 5, where it essentially makes it illegal to be an independent contractor. We need to work under somebody else, another company, which it was ridiculous. Nobody really asked for it. And it also affects people who are in bands, lots and lots of people who are in healthcare, physical therapists, hypnotherapists, so on and so forth, where you kind of work as an independent contractor. So, and so that's before COVID-19. Now COVID-19 happened. Everybody's locked down, most except for essential businesses, which is really, we're talking about 80-90% of the economy sitting at home, and it is pretty rough on everybody. And so, yeah. And then with this help, we have these programs. By the time, in fact, one program, by the time I submitted the application, online application, I went to this webinar, several of them actually, and told me, go here, talk to your bank, and go there, and then fill this application. By the time I filled the application out, the money was gone, and it was wasting my time. So
what's that called?
It was a PPP program or something like that, or IEDP program.
IEDP.
Yeah, they had some acronym I have in front of me somewhere. I didn't really mean to get into that, but I think it was IEDP. And there was supposed to be a grant, like a $10 grant, or if the basic comes down to it, the smaller the business you are, the less likely you're going to have help. So, and even though ironically this is small business, SBA is supposed to be helping small businesses, the way he had it kind of lined out, it was really no help here. And President Trump is saying there's a second round of help coming out. We'll see, But like you, I got to probably float myself out of this, work myself out of this thing some way. So,
is that because of the COVID? You mean
COVID? Yeah, supposed to be disaster relief, some similar to earthquakes and stuff like that. So there's a program for that. But it is unfortunate. Our Congress here, there is I don't want to get too political, but there was a prudent bill that was put in the Senate, but the Congress, the representative, they stalled on it because they wanted to fatten up with their little, their favorite projects. One was funding the Kennedy Center, I don't know, several $1 million, which has nothing to do with COVID-19, really. Anyway, so that is what we are. You leave up to bureaucracy to script a perfectly good plan. So, yeah. But anyway, you mentioned about jumping online using Zoom. Okay. Yeah. Now, before you do that, I want to talk about, you've done online hypnosis before, and I'm amazed with how you do it. So, and this is before Zoom. Okay. So you want to explain, in fact, what was it? The purple pen interview. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
You want to enlighten me and the audience on that? What happened?
Well, what Dan is talking about is an interview that I was in with some friends of mine a few months back with Stephanie Conkle, who's a very well-known hypnotist who does a lot of hypnosis training with big groups at Hypno Thoughts, which is held in Las Vegas usually. And she interviewed me on a show, and we had a guest on the show who was Ino Welch, who lives up in Alaska, and the three of us were on the show. And while we were on the show, Stephanie had previously asked me to demonstrate what we call an anchor. An anchor is a suggestion that we make with a hypnotee, that's somebody that I've hypnotized previously. And when you set an anchor in, it's a suggestion that you give to the hypnotee for something that is going to happen in the future. And it's a word or a phrase or an action that I as a hypnotist would do, or something that the hypnotee could do themselves that would cause something to happen in the future anytime that anchor or sometimes called a trigger is fired off. And so I did that on the show, but my hypnotee, Ino Welch, didn't know I was going to be doing this. And this trigger or anchor I'd actually set in 2011, many years ago. So when, and Dan was watching, weren't you?
Yeah, I actually watched a video of it after the fact.
Yeah.
So
I the anchor that I set off, what was, I don't know if I've got
there's a blue pen. Now you literally picked up a pen.
Oh, here it is. I've still got, this is the actual pen that I used in 2011, and I still have
now,
it.
if you wave that, it's not going to affect me or anything. I'm not going to follow her. Okay.
No, you won't.
I just want to make sure.
No, this is the actual
that one.
pen.
Yeah.
This is the actual pen that I used in 2011. I've still got it because I don't use it very often, so it's got plenty of ink still in it.
So that's a famous blue pen.
It still writes. Having said that, it probably won't now, but it still writes. Still got ink in it. I've had this many years, and I told I told my friend Ino in 2011 that if I ever showed her this pen, she would immediately go to sleep like this.
Oh, yeah. And I remember just before she said, "Oh, that cannot happen," all this stuff, I kind of hypnotize you. You just kind of you get this little raised eyebrow thing. Your trademark look. You kind of did that, and then she fell over.
No, she never. Dan, don't say that. She never said anything like that. She had no idea that I had my blue pen ready.
Oh, really? Okay.
And we were just chatting away, and I just brought this into the vision.
Yeah.
And she just immediately went to sleep, not expecting it at all. And
so
this was last year, I think I did that.
Yeah,
and all those years it was 2019.
It was all online too.
Yes.
You know, so a lot of people think you have to be hypnotized. You have to be somewhat physically close to the other person.
That's right.
And you convinced me a long time ago it's not necessary.
Yes, and I hypnotized her originally into, I think it was 2011, and you can actually check, because if you go to YouTube, I've got videos of me hypnotizing her on YouTube. You can actually check what year it was that they went up to find out what year it was that I hypnotized her. And I actually hypnotized her on Skype. And Ino was the first person I ever hypnotized online.
Interesting. So this is back in Skype days and all this stuff. So do you still use Skype, or?
I do, yes. But before I hypnotized Ino online, I was hypnotizing people on the telephone before the days of the internet.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah,
So you actually just all audio, no video,
that's right.
all verbal. Wow,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned something about Manchurian Candidate. What does that mean?
Well, a Manchurian Candidate is very,
Yeah.
very similar to what we've just been discussing here with this is a
Mm-hmm.
trigger. And
Uh-huh.
a Manchurian Candidate is somebody that you've hypnotized to do something at a later date. And
Mm-hmm.
in commonly, Manchurian Candidate means somebody that you've hypnotized to go out and commit a murder. The CIA do it a lot. They do it.
Okay.
They do it frequently.
All right.
And then
You haven't done that to me, right?
you would
So,
you would
yeah.
you would phone them up at some time in the future, and
Mhm.
you would play a tone down the telephone. They would hear the tone, and they would put the phone down, and they would go and carry out the act, whatever it is, potentially a murder. And they would go and do the murder, and then they would probably the next thing would be after shooting somebody, they would then shoot themselves.
Hmm. I
And
guess
that's
one of the more famous of these is like Sirhan when he killed Bobby Kennedy.
yes.
So,
And a lot of these high school mass shootings
mhm.
are thought to be Manchurian candidates
Interesting.
set up by
So,
set up
you're
by
not into that, right? But your background, you understand what all this does.
yes. I don't
Okay.
do that kind of thing.
Okay.
Just for the record.
So, for the record, yeah. Google this, and we know you're not into that. So,
I'm
all
not,
right. Anyway,
I'm not in the CIA.
quite the opposite. Quite the
Yes.
opposite. So, anyway, you mentioned you moved your services. Well, you've been online a long time, but when you just open your office and now you're transitioned to Zoom, basically.
Well, I
And
used Zoom as well before because I worked in the
okay.
office for people who could reach me, but with all my clients who were in the USA and Australia and all over the world, I used Zoom. But now I'm only able to use Zoom because we've got this terrible lockdown. So if anybody wants to contact me, then Dan has got my details on the screen, haven't you?
Yeah, yeah, toss it up there. See, they're here though. Hypnosensei.com, and your is the website Hypnosis, HYPNOSIS at uwclub.net. And the phone number, let me get the phone number works here. International, US or not non-UK, 440. It's supposed to drop the 0. 44208-664-9595, or if you're in the UK, 0208-664-9595. So I'll try to bounce these two back and forth on the screen here so you folks out there can see what's going on. So, anyway, something else I want to do too. Now, like I say, you perform a lot of your services online through Skype and Zoom and stuff like that. In general, how do you do that? Is it easier, tougher than doing it face to face, or just kind of goes to the par, or what?
It's exactly the same. There's no difference at all. A lot of people feel more comfortable doing hypnosis online because they're at home or in their office. Well, not in their office at the moment because of the lockdown. But when they're at
Uh-huh.
home, they're in their own environment. They feel more relaxed, calmer because they've got their own environment, and that's very natural to them. So they feel comfortable in their own environment. So in many ways, it makes it easier. And people are immediately more relaxed because they've been sitting in front of their TV screen for many years, and the thing that people do when they sit in front of a television is they immediately go into a trance because it's a very relaxing thing sitting in front of a television screen. You
Hmm.
get a rectangle in front of you and you immediately relax because of the flashing of the screen. And
Mhm.
because they immediately relax when they sit in front of a rectangle, it's exactly the same when they sit in front of the laptop or their mobile phone. It's a relaxing routine they go into. Their mind is already programmed for relaxation. That makes it very easy for me for them to relax because they've got that routine programmed into them already. So my job is already done. Won't they sit in front of that screen, whether it be their mobile phone or whether it be their laptop? So that makes it very easy for me. My work is already done.
Wow.
When
So I guess the key thing is, as you mentioned, is it's so long as they're relaxed, a relaxing environment.
yes,
And so it makes some sense that if you are doing it from your laptop or your desktop, whatever, you're at home, you're in a comfortable environment.
yes,
So it takes out 9/10 of the work. So
yes,
that kind of segues to the next question here. What do you believe is going to change with your business after the lockdown? I mean, you've been doing this online hypnosis for quite a long time. Is this going to be, are you going to close up your Harley Street office and just go online, or both, or what? Or
Well,
anything going to modify from what you've done before?
well, I think I'm going to have to close my Harley Street office because I can't go there. I can't get there. It doesn't make sense to keep it on because the rent is very high. The lockdown is going to go on for a long time because as I was saying to you off air, Dan, my local supermarkets are putting expanding steel bars on their windows and doors, and the security are telling me that the management are expecting food rioting when food rationing comes in. That doesn't tell me that they're expecting the lockdown to be lifted.
Yeah.
That
So they're
tells me
saying
that
that,
it to get worse.
Mhm.
So that
Yeah, I can relate to that because we have a lot of issues over here that the government says something and does something different. You see a lot of that recently. This lockdown supposed to be to flatten the curve,
yes.
and for all practical purposes, look like that curve's being flattened. Now all of a sudden, well, no, we need to expand this lockdown a little bit further because we want to make sure somebody could die.
Yes.
And even though there's a very, very, very small, likelihood of anybody dying from this, that fear is causing people to think twice or just obey, just be sheep to this whole thing. And well, I don't want to get into politics. You and I can go on for that. So
well, let's look at the psychological aspect of this because I am a hypnotist and because I've discussed it with a lot of hypnotists. What I see going on here is mind control and programming. It
is hypnosis.
They're getting us to queue up. They're getting us. They're getting us acclimatized. They're getting us programmed. They're getting us acclimatized to being in queues outside supermarkets. The reason they're doing that is because this is going to continue. They're getting us acclimatized to queuing up for food rationing. They're getting us acclimatized to queuing up for forced vaccination. They're getting us used to it. They're getting us acclimatized to this being the new normal. They're getting us acclimatized to obeying. This is the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future unless we all wake up and band together and realize that push back. We have to push back before it gets out of control. We have to push back before they withdraw cash. And we have to push back.
I agree.
Before in the USA, they start to withdraw ammunition because when they do, your guns are going to be useless.
Yeah.
So we have to realize that they are using mind control. This is a psyop. They are using propaganda in the press. They're using propaganda in the mainstream media on television. And you're all falling for it, aren't you?
Yeah. And well, let's do this here. I didn't want to make this in a political issue because this is more of a professional thing and trying to help other businesses, get through this COVID-19 thing. We could certainly have another conversation that another time. But and you're right. I agree with you though.
But
There's a
I'm only,
lot of things that are going on business wise and personal wise and society wise that is unprecedented.
yeah,
And we need to, stay awake, wake up, and then stay awake.
right.
So,
I'm only saying it, Dan, because as a professional hypnotherapist, it's got all the hallmarks all over it.
yeah. Now
But
you had a big online webinar with you and several of your associates just recently, right?
well, that was this morning, and
Okay.
also I had another one on Saturday.
Okay.
I think I had one.
So let's kind of segue into Zoom because a lot of people are using Zoom, including you.
Yes.
How do you think? How you like it? How you don't like about it? Are you gonna obviously say you're gonna apply it now and in the future, compared to let's say Skype or person to person? What do you think?
Well, it's much better than Skype because it's got a lot more features than Skype. Skype used to be good, but since it's been with Microsoft, Skype has been scaled down. All the features that Skype used to have been taken away.
Mm-hmm.
It's nothing like as good as it used to be. Skype.
Yeah, I agree. Microsoft basically gutted Skype. They're actually they have what's called Microsoft Live, if I'm correct, which is supposed to replace Skype here in the near future. So yeah, you're right. What used to be a pretty good program doesn't seem to work anymore.
No.
So
they've completely destroyed Skype. I think
mm-hmm.
you can't do anything with it anymore. It used to be a really good tool. You can't even search Skype anymore.
You can barely make a phone call with it.
No.
So now with Zoom, okay, by comparison, obviously Zoom seems to be easier to use. Have you had any issues with your clients get online or whatever? Any kind of chronic problems you think that need to be solved to make it better, or is it kind of okay as it is, or what?
Well, Zoom's very good, except that you have to do an install when you start it. So what I'm finding is you really need to create an account. So you have to give your personal information over to them. I don't like that too much.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't like to do that, and
yeah,
you have to be a little bit tech savvy. So if you're a little bit dumb, which some people tend to be, that is a problem. You need to be a little bit tech savvy to be able to install it. And when you come to Zoom for the very first time, you get 2 or 3 windows come up that can be a little bit confusing. If you don't have a brain, then it can be a little difficult to get it started because a couple of windows open up, and some people get frightened when windows open up. They panic, and then they don't know what to do because they don't look at the screen and they don't know how to move the mouse and click buttons, and they panic, don't they?
Yeah. So
It's actually very simple, but some people just go bananas when a window opens up on screen, and they throw.
Yeah, I agree with you. The first, if you never do Zoom before, the first time you use it could be intimidating because all of a sudden things are popping up and beeping and twitching that normally don't do that. And so, in fact, from my perspective, of all the web conferencing systems, Zoom is probably the easiest to use.
Yes.
And I've used them all. And you and I have used them all at one time or another.
It's easy to use. There's not much to do, but some people, if there's anything,
it's still gonna have an issue. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. So, okay. What was I going to say here too? Now with your business in general, not aside from the technology, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to be? Are you working anything to get more clients in, or are you just kind of waiting it out, or what? Or do you think it'd be a surge to do clients after we open up, or after lockdown's done? What do you think?
But no, I'm working on getting more clients, which means you've got to do some marketing. So I have to send out press releases to the newspaper, and so it's a bit of a gamble as to whether you get clients or not. But if you do the work, then it's going to work. You have to do the work for it to work, like any business. So I have to send out press releases to the local press and the major press, and then you have to follow through with a phone call, and you have to do social media marketing, and you have to do Facebook lives, and you have to work on LinkedIn, and I have to increase the amount of this that I do, which is why I'm in training at the moment. Doing I'm on a 12-week training to improve my knowledge in those areas. So that's what I'm doing to improve my knowledge about marketing.
Okay. So what seems to be working really well? Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram.
Well, I've got to move. I've got to improve my knowledge of LinkedIn a lot more, because that's where all the business people are. And if I want to succeed in hypnosis, I need to go where the money is, because I think the money is more in LinkedIn now, because the people who are going to have the money are the business people, because I think Facebook is going to be more the working man, and he's out of work now, so he's not got any money. So
I hear you on that.
So I don't like LinkedIn because it's complex. So but I've got to develop LinkedIn marketing a lot more now than I have been.
Interesting.
It's harder to understand. Well, actually, I say it's harder. Facebook is hard enough to understand, but LinkedIn got to develop a lot more.
Yeah, I think where they're basic, the technology wise, the platforms are kind of the same, obviously different markets, and obviously Facebook is a lot more advertising opportunities, for lack of better terms, because it's hitting for a general population, where LinkedIn is more professionals.
Yeah. And I've got to up my website more too. My website looks a bit tired.
Okay. By the way, I meant to talk to you about the page vamp thing too. I guess we talked about it a little bit later here.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Well, I have a new service that I partnered into just before this COVID-19 thing hit, called Page Vamp, where you can build a website within minutes from a Facebook page. I think I told you about that. Yeah, in fact, last time we were talking about that. I thought it was pretty fascinating. In fact, I just walked a client through. This lady here, she was not very tech savvy, and their company had no Facebook page, nothing. I mean, as bad technology, untechnology you could possibly get. I kind of walked her through what we need to do. Actually, I gave her a proposal and said, this is what you need to do if you want me to do it. But if you do it, you can save this amount of money. So there's enough. It was enough for her to say, you know what, we're going to try it ourselves. And sure enough, she put her website up within about 10 minutes.
Yes.
So it's pretty cool. So anyway, let's do this. We did it again. I was on the air for almost 40 minutes. So let's kind of wrap it up. Let's talk about, give your shameless plug. Let me put your Hypno Sensei on there. Talk about your shameless plug for your business.
My plug for my business. Well, if you're a lot of people right now are stressed out because of COVID-19. So if you are one of those people who are stressed out, if you find yourself shouting at your family members, don't do that. Just give me a call on 0208-664-9595, or look at my website, hypnosensei.com, and we'll get you sorted out. So give me a call today. Don't delay, do it today.
All right. Well, Keith, thank you as always. Always a pleasure talking with you. And one of these days here, very soon, we'll do another live stream where we'll get you and even Dale on the horn here and do our little dog and pony again. Those things are always fun. So, in fact, we were talking about back when we were on Dr. Ev's show, when we were kind of entertaining the all the prank callers who were calling us, because we were doing like 3 hours. We ran out of material after 30 minutes, so we were answering prank caller calls. And I'm not sure if you remember that one of the kids, he had a problem with dating, his first date or something like that. And the three of us, I think you were on there too. We helped this kid out from afar, got him to that first date, and that's something that I kind of cherish. We left the mark with that kid's life for the rest of his life. I'm not sure good or bad, but it worked out. So
I got LBC called me up once about dating, and I was amazed, which is a big London radio station here. And I used to call them up regularly and to talk to them. And when you did that, you would call them up. If they want you on the show, you'd hang up and they'd phone you back. But strangely, they started phoning me without me calling them, which was really weird. One day they phoned me up for advice about dating. And I thought, my God, I don't know anything about dating. But they phoned me up about dating. And they had me on air giving them advice about dating, which really shocked me. So I'm thinking, what do I say to them? So I am now, I guess, an expert on dating. And actually, but now I am actually now qualified to give advice about dating, because I've taken some courses on that very recently.
Interesting.
As recently as today, in fact. Because we've introduced that as part of the 12-week course that I'm on, and we have been now talking about dating and relationships, because people have been, during this lockdown, having trouble in their relationships. So I'm now fully qualified to talk to people about their relationships. So if you are having
interesting
relationships,
well, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Okay, let's do this one more time. Your website is Hypno Sensei. Oh, hang on, here. Hypnosensei.com. I got your email address on there too. Hypnosis, HYPNOSIS at uwclub.net. Phone numbers is
0208 664 9595. That's a UK
okay.
number. If you're calling from the USA, then you need 44. Drop the 0 and then 208 664 9595.
Okay, great. Well, Keith, thank you for being on the air. Let me wrap this up, and I'll talk to you a little bit afterwards. So,
okay.
All right. Anyway, folks, thank you for listening and watching this version of this episode of Tech Talk. I want to, and by the way, any of you want to be interviewed on this, I do this for free. And I'm trying to help out you folks out there. The businesses are kind of struggling through the COVID-19 issues, lockdowns, and whatever else too. This is to help promote you and your business out there. And hopefully do some good for everybody out there. So anyway, if you need help, anything else related to your business, technology-wise, whatever, you can contact me, and let me toss my stuff up here. You go to the website primeconcepts.net, primeconcepts.net, or if you need help immediately, just call up the phone number, Prime Concepts 760-247-4814, or send an email directly to me at darrenharley@primeconcepts.net, and make sure to put in all caps help, so I know you need help immediately. We get lots of emails, so you need to really do that. Anyway, I am also do me a big favor. If share this episode with friends and colleagues out there. Hopefully it might help somebody out there, and spread the word and go from there. So anyway, yeah, and like this, I appreciate you guys watching, listening. I do this for you folks out there. So anyway, let's close it up. Good luck and Godspeed to your online success, and be safe out there.